So, a very short presentation on diversity in the workforce. It's done by Susan from IGDA. They have commissioned a lot of studies on mental health, mental well being, and also diversity and inclusion in the gaming industry. And some of the findings from these studies she's going to talk about in this very short 10-minute presentation. Enjoy. I will.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Freyjadis, and I am presenting a Keys to a Diverse Workforce. A little bit about me. My name is Suzanne Freyjadis. I am the Director of Global Development for the IGDA, which is the International Game Developer Association. I have a master's in Women's and Gender Studies from the University of Texas at Austin, and my focus was on diversity in the video game industry. I also feel very strongly about having a full and diverse workforce, and I think that the video game industry will be better for having more people that are different, unique, and talented. We all agree that diversity is important. In the latest developer satisfaction survey by the IGDA, 89% of all respondents agreed that diversity in their workplace was important. 89%. That is 9 out of 10 people agreeing that it is important that they have a diverse place where they work. All right, we all agree. So what do we do about it? Hiring and retention. It is all about hiring and retention. How are you hiring? How are you maintaining mentorship? And are you thinking about retention? All of that is key. So where are you going to find these diverse applicants? Let me tell you, you're not going to find them through the usual job boards. You're not going to find them in LinkedIn, and you're not going to find them using the same types of posts that you currently are using to hire. You're going to find them when you go outside of the industry. Just because someone isn't in the games industry doesn't mean that they're not going to be a valued and interesting and important addition to your team. If you're only looking at the games industry, I've got a secret to share. You're not going to get diverse applicants. We're not a diverse industry. So by keeping it to the games industry, you're just limiting your application pool. You're going to want to look even outside of your city or town. You're going to want to look into the whole country, the country next door. There's a wide range of applicants, and people who have worked in software can transfer to the games industry very, very easily. Mentorship. 90% of people who responded to the most recent developer satisfaction survey said that diversity, not just in their workplace, but in the whole game industry, is important. And it is. It's key. It changes not just what it's like to work there, but it changes our games. It makes our games better. It makes our games stronger. Diversity is the key to making our industry even more interesting, telling better stories. And the way to do that is through mentorship. There are two types of mentorship. There is informal mentorship, and that's when you stop by someone's desk. That's when you check in with someone in the elevator. That's when you go to a school and you stay after your presentation to answer questions. All of those are types of informal mentorship. Those are ways to make sure that people who are new to your company, new to the industry, feel like they belong and that people care. All of that is key. So that is the first type of mentorship, and it matters because mentorship turns into friendship, and friendship is what ties people to an industry, to a job. The next type of mentorship is formal mentorship. We do that at the IGDA, but there's other places where they do formal mentorship. And formal mentorship is when someone is assigned a mentor and where you have goals and you're trying to reach a conclusion to a problem, a challenge, and those can be at different levels. So that can be an entry level person who's trying to figure out how to network in the industry. It can be someone mid career who's trying to take their job to the next level. It can even be CEOs mentoring other CEOs for leadership. Those are all different, distinct types of formal mentorship that are important. And the thing about mentorship is that it is one of the most effective ways to keep people tied to your company. And then there's retention. Speaking of people tied to your company, there are some key aspects of retention that are important to do. The first one is listen and do something. When somebody on your team talks to you and tells you about a challenge they're having, you want to not just listen to them, which is very important, but then you actually want to do something. And one of the biggest challenges for people that are diverse in a workplace is feeling unheard. It's not just the same to hire people that are diverse. You actually have to listen to the people that you've hired and pay attention to their disparate and different perspectives. That's key. The next thing is to be respectful of culture. How people dress, how they wear their hair doesn't impact their work. It doesn't impact anyone else. It doesn't impact anything. It's just important to them. And that it makes it important for you because people deserve to be respected for what they feel is important, and what we wear and how we look is important to us. The next is remote work. The horse is out of the barn. Remote work is here to stay. And the thing about remote work is it allows you to hire people from all over the world. If you're looking for somebody in your same time zone, you can look at Africa, the Middle East, South Asia. Those are people that are not only going to give you an interesting and unique perspective, but then by paying them the same wage that you would pay someone locally, which is important, you are also benefiting globally. And that's important too, just because that is a key piece of being a respectful company in today's workplace. The last is a flatter hierarchy. People need to be able to get to their mid-management when they have issues. They need to not feel like there's a barrier in place to keep them from reporting challenges. And that goes back to listen and do something. You want to listen to people who have challenges and you want to act on them. That's important because once we lose people from the workplace, once we lose women and people of color, then they tend to leave the industry as a whole. And that it makes us all the poorer for it. In conclusion, okay, so we all agree diversity is important. So the things that we can do are look outside the games industry when we're hiring. We can think about how we can be a mentor, and we can be respectful of the people that we hire, so and listen to them so that we can retain them and their diverse perspectives. Thank you. I appreciate your time.